started to speak, some of them who didn't speak at all, and they've become very friendly, and they've changed. They find that they can do things, and they have some power and some control. I think the thing about horses is it's the meta-communication. It's the silent communication between the person and the horse. There's lots of things happening when you come into contact with the horse. There's lots of feelings taking place. And for these people, they can express their love to a horse very easily. They can hug the horse, they can love the horse. And it's obvious now how much they want to be loved and touched and hugged by us. There's nothing to stop them, and they quickly find out that this is really nice. On an emotional level, after I lost my son 10 years ago, he was in the army, and he was in the special units. He was mortally wounded in Sujud in Lebanon. And after he died, I remember I sat the Shiva. And literally the day after the Shiva finished, I didn't know how to cope with this whole situation. It was, other people I think probably would have stayed at home. I didn't know how to deal with it. So my only answer to myself was go out and work harder. Then you could cope. And that was, for me, that was the way I was going to cope. And I came back to the farm like on the 8th day, sort of thing, this day after the Shiva finished. And I remember going into my office, and in came a lady, and she'd brought her son, who was the same age as my son who just died, and he was a severe head injury. He'd been on the West Bank, and he'd been in a terrorist attack, and he was a head injury. And I looked at him, and it was really, really painful to me, because I was really in pain from my own son. But I remember looking at him and thinking, well, this is what I've got to do. I've got to go on. These are people in front of me. And then I remember the poor mother, she told me that it was her second son who had been in a head injury in the army, and that just fixed it for me.
About a year and 4 months ago or so, I was in the Park Hotel in Netanya for the Passover Seder. My siblings, my mother and father, my grandpa, the whole family, and my father was killed. I was injured. How do you say it? Injured. Seriously. Shrapnel entered my right eye. Something. I'm not sure. And my left brain went.
It was the memory of the pain, and that pushed me on to do the work with the victims of terror, which has been a very successful project. I thought, again, when I saw the Park Hotel and I saw what had happened and the devastation, I decided I must go and do something again. And it became very powerful for me to go and do something again. So I wrote this long letter and sent it to as many people as I could, and asked them if they could help me help these victims.
I don't remember the terror attack. I don't remember. I was in the military. I was an intelligence officer in the Air Force. I've forgotten my English, Arabic, and French. My mother is French. The right side is paralyzed, and my face, my leg, hand. My dream? Soon, maybe half a year or in a year, I want to go back to the Air Force.
It's always come back to me that the people want it. The people really want this. And it's pushed me forward. It pushed me so much forward that we made the training school. We developed a training school to train others, that people didn't have to travel from Metula to wherever I was. In the beginning I had people from Eilat, from Metula, from Jerusalem. They were coming now. Now we're in the situation with the training school. We've trained enough people that all over Israel there are little satellite centres, so which is also wonderful.
I feel really wonderful. I shut out the world and I go into my own private place with the horse.
You have to put the soul into it. I think that's the only way this is successful. You have to put so much in, and sometimes you're left with nothing. As you get older, which makes it even harder, you have to keep saying to yourself that you have to try to be a person. Every day is the last day of your life, so you better be good in it and behave well in it.